PaperBag, the role-playing game show. The players tonight are playing for a $50 gift card to the Monte Game Store, plus a $30 gift card to Only Crits Dice, and all participants receive a product from one of our sponsors. Monte Games, the legendary creators of Numenera, Invisible Sun, and Cypher. We roll Only Crits Dice on PaperBag because Only Crits will do. Alligator Alley Entertainment, Gonza Gaming, creators of Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Underground Oracle, of course, publishes evocative TTRPGs and supplements that make every table a little more interesting. And Cypher Unlimited, they have over 6,000 Cypher fans and one of the best communities in all of TTRPGs. PaperBag benefits Diversity Saves, who's dedicated to uplifting marginalized voices in the TTRPG space. Each GM runs one scene with each player, and their job is to guide the player to their highest, best performance. They get a random genre, and then the GM and player are sent to read their scene prompts and get their material prepped. Once they're ready, we bring them on, and they role play through the scene. Then you, chat, and the two GMs get to give a 1 to 5 star rating to their performance. So it's our stars and wishes. And that's it. At the end of the night, whoever has the highest aggregated value for their scenes wins the big prize. First up is going to be Sin and Natalie. I think that's right. Yep. Let's go to the wheel. Let's see what they're going to be role playing through tonight. And let's see what the Dice of Destiny does for the night.
Oh yeah.
Steam.
Nice.
Let's get them their scene prompts. They will be sent into the Cone of Silence, where they can contemplate their 11 minutes future. After they're in Nekala, I'm going to have you tell us all about Diversity Saves.
Hi, everyone. I am your technical producer for this evening, but I am also on the board of Diversity Saves. We are a 501c3 nonprofit created by BIPOC, LGBTQIA+, neurodivergent, and disabled individuals in the tabletop role-playing space. Our mission is simple: uplift marginalized communities in tabletop role-playing by providing resources, visibility, and financial support. Through our grant program, we've already distributed over $7,000 directly to creators and organizers, bringing new stories, new systems, and new perspectives to life. Please consider supporting our work in whatever way you can.
All right. I think with the 3 minutes up, everyone can be brought back. Sin and Natalie, how you feeling about it? You feeling ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, Sin, take it away when you're ready.
An airship speeds headlong through a storm, 3,000 feet above an uncharted mountain range. Two rival explorers stand on deck, one that chartered the ship and one that was already aboard. Both claim the right to the helm. As lightning strikes and thunder crackles, the rain starts to pelt on the ship. Ossian stands there in front of you, Corvin. I don't see why you should have control of the helm.
And Corvin stands there. They are looking over their own charted map. An eyebrow raises as they look up to Ossian. Well, I don't see why you get to chart this either. We are both competent, and I've been making my way on this. I know the storms happening over this mountain. I understand the path we must take. Why shouldn't I?
Just because something is different about your map versus mine does not mean that you have more of a right to this discovery. No one has successfully gone through this range, and I will die before I let you take credit for it.
Well, depending on how this all goes, we may die anyway without any credit being given at all.
Better no credit given than yours.
You're really so full of yourself, you're not even going to let me try to see if there's any capability we can have here.
I believe that you are simply incapable. Less capable than myself in every way imaginable. Is that so difficult to imagine?
Well, I think what's difficult to imagine is you completely missing how I've been able to keep up in your shadow so easily this entire time. I've been waiting on the ship this entire time in hopes of seeing where this all goes, to finally be out of your shadow for once. Maybe for once we can actually choose something better, if not together, since we are both here in a storm, which could very much end us regardless.
I admit that when I look at your map, I see that there is a route that I may have overlooked. However, 99.9% of our charts are the same. Now, if you think that that crucial detail, or if you think that that detail is so crucial, explain why.
Well, and Corvin lays out the map, turning it around. I think if you just see right here, and as they chart their finger across the mountain range, where this detail begins to be different, where this altitude changes, this is where it can be live or die. If we are too high, we'll miss the route and crash into this other mountain, but if we are too low, we will still crash in the mountain. So we need to sort what the correct way is, the average maybe. But you have your chart, so if you wish to stick with yours, fine.
Yes. I rather do believe that it would be for the best to stick with the chart of someone who has given their life to this, who understands what it's like to be at the top of their game and not some upstart.
I think I have not given my life, given this career path. Were you not someone who also started where I once was? Did you not experience someone who considered themselves better than you, who knew more, and then felt the vindication of outpacing them? Is that really something that you have forgotten of yourself?
They kind of reach back and dust themselves off, look off into the storm. Are you saying I haven't given you proper credit?
And Corvin stands there, also looking at the window. It's not always necessarily credit that I want, just the recognition that I am also an explorer, a navigator, just as you are, just as you were, enjoying the adventure.
An adventure with no destination is not an adventure at all.
A lot of times in the adventure, it's the journey more than the destination anyway.
Is that what you truly believe?
There's been a few times where I set out to go somewhere and ended up being all the things along the way that mattered more to me.
Then I offer this. You can experience this adventure, but receive none of the credit In fact, no one will ever even know that you were here. You get your adventure. And you said that credit doesn't matter. So what should it matter to you?
Well, see, I said the destination didn't matter. But why would it matter to you so much that I get nothing, especially if I do something? Do you really want to take credit for someone else's work?
I only take credit for the things I deserve. I chartered this ship. I have been at the helm the entire time. Just now, because of a little drizzle, you think you should take the lead?
I mean, one, that is not a little drizzle out there, as Corvin gestures to the lightning and density of the water. What I think is just the consideration of the differences in this particular moment of our charts. It should be considered. This hasn't been done before, you said? This hasn't been done before. I agree, this hasn't been done before. So why not let us work together before this all implodes by any mountain, any lightning that could take us out?
I have offered you terms in which we could work together.
And Corvin stares out, seeing barely any outlines of mountains as we approach. And then looks back at Austin with a half-cocked smile. Like, fine. You may have as you wish. However, I do give one counter offer. If I have to lay my hands on the helm at any point, then I need you to at least recognize that I did something to save us.
If you lay your hands on the helm at any point, you know, you talk of where we've been and where we're going. Where we've been is a place where everyone has been. Where we're going is a place where no one has been. If you think that your arrogance is needed here, then so be it. I accept your terms.
Well then. And Corvin moves the map back into place, moves it out once again, and sort of just leans against the rail. For now, you might consider me arrogant, but soon I think we'll figure out where this actually goes.
Yes. For now, why don't you leave my bridge?
All right. And Corvin takes their chart, folds it up. I'll be at the door if you find yourself having difficulty. They walk out.
You won't be needed. NC?
Chat, the window for giving your 1 to 5 star rating is open. And while that's happening, Jonn, why don't we get some of your thoughts on the performance?
Oh, I mean, I loved it. Like, it's having two people at odds, like two people or peers, at least from one person's perspective, possibly at odds, is always a great setup, and it's always great to see someone being beset by someone with more power and standing and facing them, looking eye to eye. And I really thought Natalia did a good job of that, of like just embodying someone who's maintaining their composure while at the same time not accepting whatever demeaning things are being said. That's always cool to see that. Like, it's like, just stay in the character. Your character is calm and composed. They're not going to be rattled. They'll have moments where they'll feel like they need to, and in those moments, that is when they make those best points. And I thought that's what you, instead of like, letting it get to you, you embodied someone who took that and responded in a way that for themselves, like, this is who I am. I'm not going to let your behavior cause me to behave differently. And I thought we can see that sense of tension while you were doing it. And I love that.
Sin, what about you?
Yeah, I think anytime you're encountering somebody who is very obviously an egomaniac, that is a difficult order. And being able to maintain composure and even get the smallest concession is something that is laudable. And being able to think through and stay on your feet and like stay on attack in that way, I think that was incredibly well done.
I do want to remind the audience, if they want to submit a scene, they can, and we'll drop a link in chat. So the scenes, if your scene gets selected, you get a shout out here. You get a link in the chat to your own actual play or your product, whatever it is. And then on the video on demand, the link will be there too. Are we ready for scene 2, which would be Jonn and Jonathan?
Okay. Sorry.
Let's find out what you're doing. What is the genre going to be?
Oh no.
Epic fantasy.
All right.
The default
Yes.
of so many things. So you'll be sent your scene prompts. Once you have those, you'll be sent into the cone of silence, where you'll have 3 minutes to read, understand the scene. You're doing a lot of things. That's the first thing that I find interesting. So you're the GM of Fantastic Realms, Nerds with Dice on Twitch, Friday nights at 7. Tell me about that particular GMing experience.
Yeah, we're heading into the 3rd episode of the series. It's every other Friday night, and it will be on this Friday. And it's a system hopping actual play. So every 4 to 10 episodes, we're changing systems. We're starting out in Tales of the Valiant, and then we are going to, every season after, move to something else. And it's got a great cast, fantastic people. Some I've worked with before, some I've never had the chance to work with until now. And it's a great time. Very character driven, very focused on the characters, letting their stories breathe more than the like overarching plot of the show.
I have so many questions already about that. Like, are the systems do you have the systems all mapped out? Is there like a logical order to them? Like, do they advance into things, or is it chosen later on and randomly?
So
how does that work?
What I'm planning is to have the players have input on the systems, and I have a folder that has 115 systems in it. And I will pick like 4 or 5 systems, some of which I've run before, some of which I haven't, but we'll figure it out together what our next system is going to be. And there's going to be like recurring NPCs, recurring locations, things of that nature. But the stories could be wildly different based on the direction things go.
Nice. So what is the Planescape Archive?
That is actually the first season of Fantastic Realms. The finale adventure is called The Fractured Tower. That was from the Planescape Archive. which was a DM's Guild supplement. It's the top Planescape supplement on DM's Guild, which I wrote by myself. It's over 50,000 words. And it came out around the time of the Planescape setting. So it was a lot of fun to write. Very lonely. I prefer collaborating.
Yeah. Are you playing in anything?
Oh yeah, Breaking Neon, City of Mist, and also in Fields of the Dead. I have a guest spot that I'm doing this and next month.
Amazing. That is a full calendar. I see we're getting our participants back. How you feeling there, John and Jonathan?
We'll
Good.
see.
All right. Whenever you begin the narrative, the timer will set. You'll have 11 minutes. So you can begin whenever you'd like.
We begin in a temple, empty except for two people. Light falls in long bars through time-diluted stained glass depictions of gods. One person, a younger gentleman, Corwin, prays, and with them an elderly priest enters, closes the door, and locks it behind them. Corwin, we should talk.
Corwin is, so I'm just going to base this off of what I know. So the temple has pews that have kneelers, so they're really rudimentary. But Corwin has been, he's on the front, so he's got his extremely large arms kind of draped over the pew in front of him, and he looks up. Oh, hey there, Seraph. Sorry, I zoned out a little bit. How are you? It's been a bit.
I have been well. And his creaky bones, he slowly settles down into a kneeling position besides the younger gentleman. You have been hard at work. I believe what you've been working on is something that I should offer you advice if you still accept advice from your former mentor.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? I mean, and he kind of shifts, and you can see that he as he shifts, it's very obvious that that Corwin, being a very large man, is also a man in pain. He's clearly sustained an injury to one of his legs, in that he's having trouble moving around. So this once very physically imposing person has been laid low of late. I mean, if you can call it work, I've just been writing and thinking as and he kind of pats his leg as this heals up. Just putting my thoughts down after everything. It's not. I wouldn't call it work, but I've for a long time done a different kind of work. I think the scribes and everybody else, I guess I always thought that I was protecting them and that was my work, and I didn't really think about what they were doing. And now, 2 or 3 months after the battle, I have a much different perspective now, Sarah.
Yes, that I know. But all of this hard work and all of the burdens you've taken on, they are for a purpose. The church is the one thing that is keeping this world going. Your efforts, proof of that. We would be so much nearer collapse if not for your contributions, all the contributions that we of the church put forth.
And yet, and he switches to he kind of comes off the kneeler and sits down in the pew behind him, and yet this is what happened to me. I'm glad, obviously, that things went the way they did. It's a pitch battle. Things happened the way they happened. Yeah, my faith kept me in it. My belief is one of the reasons why I can still, and he kind of raises one of his hands, and a little motes of light float around his fingers. I still got a little bit of it. I'm recovering, but all this is because of what I believe.
Your faith. That is what greatly concerns me, my friend.
Did we really need to be out there?
Would things have gone differently if we weren't?
He kind of slumps back. I've had a lot of time to think, and I've had a lot of time to pray and to think and to write.
Yes, but
And I don't know. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry, I could see everything from atop my horse. I saw what happened.
yes, many people saw what happened.
They didn't need, those kids did not need to be out there. The church said, take the new guys. That's what the cleric said. He said, take the new guys, and here's what you're going to do. And I should have spoke up.
They chose that path. Their faith led to what happened. That is the way of things. We end up sacrificing ourselves for the greater good. That is my concern, is that faith is what holds us together. But your words, they are causing dissent. They're causing us to focus on things that are not truly our danger, not true dangers. The dangers are the things that we fought, not the decisions that we've made. It's easy to write about what the best decision is after all it occurred, after you reflect on what you saw from on top of your horse. It is much harder to make those decisions beforehand. And those decisions, while not leading to the result we would have liked, we wouldn't have wanted to be in the situation where we needed to make those kinds of sacrifices. But as you said, our faith. Do you still hold to your faith? Is it waning? Is that the reason you've written what you've written? Is that the reason you want to share these kinds of thoughts with everyone? This will harm the church. This will harm.
Maybe it needs to be harmed. Have you thought of that? Maybe it needs to get hurt too. Because if something gets broken, maybe it can be set right. My horse landed on, this is never going to be, I'm never going to walk right again. And that's fine. I've accepted that. But maybe this break, this wound, allow all of this to heal. Seraph, why are you here?
Think about
who are you trying to heal?
Think of those kids that you wanted to protect. perhaps there are other people who find themselves in the same situation, looking at the youth, wanting only to see them be made safe, even though you know their actions will bring them greater harm. Perhaps I meant it as a warning. Perhaps all of the time you spent coming to these conclusions has left you with too little time. What will you do if you're not able to convince the church?
At this point, Corwin is going to use both arms to lift himself out of the pew. It's something that if you're over 40, you have to do anyway. And he kind of raises himself and reveals himself to be just a massive human. But his clear limp is kind of brings him down a notch. And he says, I have to stand by what I've written. And I'm not trying to get anyone. We've all been punished enough. But as I said, it's time to heal. And I think this is the way forward to where my faith, because I still believe, can heal the wound that this church has. Make this temple somewhere where everyone can heal. He's going to start limping away.
I hope you see this through.
Chat, the voting window is open for 2 minutes, so you can now give the player your 1 to 5 star
I don't want
rating,
to look.
with 5 being
hiding.
fantastic.
I'm hiding that window. putting it behind the Discord. I don't want to see.
And GMs, you can vote in Discord. And while that's happening, why don't we get some thoughts from Sin about this?
The emotion was really the central focus, and you could tell that the character was a true believer. Kind of the descriptions of the physical injuries that he was undergoing helped ground that passion in a way that really helped give the passion gravity.
John, what about you? What did you think of the scene that Jonathan gave you?
Oh, I really like the passion. I like the moment where his mentor was trying to convince him, and he held back as long as he could, and he cut him off and delivered like the passionate line. I thought that was like definitely a chef kiss moment for me, because that was when I think things shifted from you needed to be heard, and you were going to be heard, and so I thought that was like a great shift in the scene.
Oh, nice. Well, the voting is closed, so let's draw some new names from the bag. So this will make it Sin, and Matt gets his first entry into the paper bag.
All right.
Milieu.
Woo!
There we go. Cozy.
Do you like cozy games? Do you play a lot of cozy games?
Have
you played many?
I have. Okay, I've started a lot of cozy games. But I have ADHD, so they don't last very long.
Oh no.
All right. Well, we're going to send you into the cone of silence. Let's talk to Natalie.
Hi.
So, Natalie, you've been a cast in everything as of the last year or two. Just
I've-
everything.
Been floating around so much since I started actual play here with you, Zeal.
And you're amazing, of course. So, what is the big game you've been in that you're in right now?
So the biggest one right now on Wednesday nights over on the Coziest Trauma Corner, new upcoming channel, we've been playing our season 2 of Sentine Sensibility that started here on ZealZaddy. So our group, familiar through other previous APs here, but with Sentine Sensibility, we branched off and went into a season 2. So we've been into that. And otherwise, my other stuff, I've been a guest with Nerds with Dice, doing Fields of the Dead currently, as Sin has mentioned. For themselves, I've been there for season 1, and I'm now in the every other week group. And I got to read an emotional dialogue last week. It made everybody cry, so that was awesome.
Oh, nice. I mean, that's the kind of energy that every GM is like, oh, God, I want that to happen. So you're also an artist, though.
Yes, I am a
So
freelance
what have you been up to
illustrator.
there?
Yeah, so a lot of
I-
it, I do private illustrations of people's characters, of course, because I lean more into the tabletop stuff. I've also worked on some independent projects in years past, like single, like independent people. And I've worked for bigger companies like Hit Point Press and Chaosism. I did illustrations on Heckna, which was a 5e campaign they've done at Hit Point Press. And I've also done illustrations for Chaosism on a project that I think they're still working on, so it's not released yet. But it is very much kind of the like sky sailing, some steampunky sort of vibes.
Cool. And where can people find you for both your AP work and your illustration work? I don't know whether they're the same or not. So how would they know the difference?
Yeah, so it's
Or is it one?
all just me. I'm everywhere at Ghost Candle. Then I'm most active on Blue Sky. I am also available as Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube. My YouTube has a backlog of when I was doing solo actual plays, where I was running all the solo games that I have. And I hope to get back into it again because it's been a lot of fun showcasing just the various projects people come off in their own little niche corners of the tabletop. Just really highlight those creators and help spread the word on them because there's so many amazing works out there.
So Matt, how you feeling? Your first one is about to start. You high energy, low energy.
We're going for it. It's cozy, so it's got to be low energy. That's the
Okay.
low vibe, right?
Yeah. All right. Sin, when you begin the narrative, the countdown will begin. So it's on you.
All right. On a late afternoon, a small way station sits on a country road, bathed in golden sunlight. A covered bench, a water trough, and a 3 times repainted sign dripped with loving droplets center the scene. An old woman, Pip, sits next to you. She has gnarled fingers and a kind smile, looking spry despite the fact that she walks with a cane. What brings you back around?
Oh, well, there's a little bit of everything, I guess. And you see Ren kind of like feeling around on the bench with one hand, absentmindedly searching for something as they're kind of grasping at the fibers of the wood. I thought I'd take myself on a little adventure and, well, I don't know. Where are you coming from?
Well, I'm coming from home, I guess. The road calls us all eventually.
Yeah. And Ren kind of bobs their head as they're like thinking about it. You know, the road it kind of gets to you, right? Like one day you just got to start heading in a direction and hope that you find what you're looking for. And, you know, You ever look back and feel like you forgot to bring something with you, though?
Oh, I think everybody has that feeling at one time or another. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just setting out, and kind of hefts the bag as he looks around again, plops the bag in front of him, and starts kind of rifling through. You know, I swear I went through my list 4 or 5 times, and everything's got to be in there, and starts pulling out a couple different little smaller pouches, their lunch, before grabbing a bus ticket. And it's like, this is it. This is the time, right? We're heading out west, and we'll see what happens along the way.
Yes, yes, indeed. Whether we go home or leave, we all get somewhere eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's anywhere but here, and somewhere is home. But did you find what you were looking for before you headed home?
I think that one of the great joys is in that state in between. Close to being home, but not quite there. It's a joy. You always have something to look forward to. And there's always something just around the corner. Now,
Yeah, I mean, that's what got me started, right? It's they always say it's the journey and not the destination. You're supposed to be looking at the road ahead. You know, Ma always said if you look out the front of the car, that's why you can see the road ahead so clear, is because it's in front of you, and instead of looking at what's zooming by. But what if I'm supposed to look at what's here and I'm about to miss it?
the truth of the matter is that you can look at everything and nothing all at once. And if you're concerned about missing something, you've already missed it.
Well, I hope it's not something important. I don't want to end up out there without any trousers or clean socks or something. I better look. And he starts digging through his bag again, kind of self-assured that everything's in there, but you have to do one more check before kind of looking over the older woman that's here. And it's like, did you bring anything good back? Did you find something that you felt worth bringing along?
I think that the best thing to find are memories, but they're not things that you hold on to forever. And accepting that is just another transition in life. I forget now what happened before I left, and maybe it doesn't matter at all. But always going somewhere. If you're going with your feet, it means you're going in the right direction.
Well, I mean, my feet brought me here, but the bus is does that mean the bus is taking me in the wrong direction? Oh, I mean, am I supposed to turn the ticket in and walk there? Is that part of the adventure? Did I misunderstand what? And starts to panic as they're sitting on this bench and like grabbing at the edge as they try to kind of hold themselves from vibrating in place.
You can relax. The feet are metaphorical.
Okay. It's all about taking the path and going down the road, right?
Yeah.
And the feet are just as good as the bus?
Just as good.
Okay. I think that's going to be a good thing. There's got to be more good things out there. There's lots of good things here in town, but this is a small place. So there's got to be more, right? More good people like you.
There's always more out there. Whether I'm a good person or not, I guess, is a matter of speculation. And I don't like to speculate. But I can say that there's always new experiences, always more to be had. And I think the road is, in a way, it can be home. But there is nothing quite like getting home at the end of a journey before you start out on the next one.
Well, I got to do my first one before I can do my next one, but I don't know. You ever worry that home won't be the same? Like you look back at it and it's not the same size because you're a different size when you come back. You're a new person.
And she takes a second and is quiet and looks down, then out toward the road, heading back to the small area. There's hope in your heart that things won't change, but nothing's truly stuck in time. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as little as I used to be, and now I'm doing all the important things. It's not every day you start a new adventure and head out into the world, and you see him kind of like rubbing at a couple of his fingers as he's sitting there. The nervous tension really building as he's kind of checking his watch and looking at the ticket and looking at this woman waiting for the bus to get there. Like, what if his adventure starts late? I just hope, everything's here and meeting good people and getting good answers. Like it's got to be good, right? This is a good start. Good things are coming.
Are you afraid that you've made an incorrect choice?
I'm afraid that either choice is wrong. If I stay here, what if I'm too big for this place already? But if I go out there, what if I'm too small to keep up?
Well, if both decisions are wrong, then doesn't that mean both decisions are right?
Yeah, and I mean, I won't know. Like, if I stay here, I'll know I'm too big. But if I don't go out there, I'll never know if I'm too small.
I think that there's plenty big enough of a heart in you for what's outside. Now, I'd be just coming from an old woman, one that has too much time on her hands and not enough road under her feet, but I think you'll do all right.
Well, it's starting good, and I made a new friend already, so that's something. And goes into the front of his backpack and pulls out these caramel candies and offers one to her as a nice way to start the adventure.
She'll take it with a smile.
Chat, the window is open for 2 minutes, so you can give the player your 1 to 5 star rating. Remember, just the player. GMs, you can also vote on Discord now. Jonn, what are your thoughts on Matt's first performance?
Oh, I really liked the you can tell that they were excited for it, even though this is supposed to be a cozy, low key moment. You could feel the undertones of the energy they had, and that big-eyed wanting to see the world. It's just like it really showed in through your characterization. Also love the cozy moments, like taking out the candy to give to the old lady. That's completely the opposite of what you would expect there, of the younger person offering the older person some hard candy. I thought that was excellent.
You got to break out the Werthers.
Yeah. That was definitely a Werther's original moment. So love that.
All right. And Sin, what did you think of the performance Matt gave you?
Yeah, I think that having somebody that's a meek personality that is on the edge of panic over a decision is an interesting like fulcrum on which to balance a scene, and you handled that very well. It was definitely, the energy was palpable, even if it was a slow moving scene, and very different from the two that we've already had. Not something also that you said was in your comfort zone. So you tackled it really well for it not being in your comfort zone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the voting is closed. We have hit the midpoint of the show, so we're going to take a little break. But remember, you can make a donation to Diversity Saves and help them in their mission of uplifting voices in marginalized communities in TTRPG space. Find the next scene that will be for Jonn and Natalie. So this will be Natalie's second scene and the second scene of the night. What genre would you like to see, Natalie?
Oh, I have a good dichotomy of either want cosmic horror or anime.
Well, I think you're getting close to the cosmic horror with Supernatural. That's close.
Close enough.
So Matt, while Declan's getting Sin and Sin is back. Do you want to talk about duality?
Yeah. So actually, looking at the wheel, this is a great way to talk about it. So duality is a genre crossing 2d6 system where you mash together two settings. Our core rulebook is on Kickstarter right now. It is fully funded, and we are $125 away. That is 3 hardcover books. We are 3 backers at a hardcover book tier away from adding a space setting. We've had a ton of really cool stuff happening this month. And probably one of the biggest things to share is there's a ton of built-in accessibility tools. We worked with the folks at Open the Gates Gaming and Dots RPG to go through and make sure that things were accessible. We did a lot of color blindness review. We've made sure that the fonts and everything are fully visible. It is a 6x9 book, but we're still running 12-point font to make sure that it's accessible for the folks that want to play. And we have a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
We have a lot of cool side things that happen with it also. We have screen reader friendly character sheets. We are looking at a markdown version of the book so that the whole book will be screen reader friendly as an available PDF.
And there's a lot of games showcasing duality on YouTube. Is that the case, or do you need more showcases?
I mean, I'm always game to run and play more. I got to play for the very first time this past weekend as Bartholomew, and he's a union worker who really wants to talk to you about your rights to having a smoke break. And then we had
we need that.
That's it. You got to follow the union rules, but you do get union breaks. We've had a really, really amazing cast. We did a 4-episode game of Delta Shift with Kay and David from Chaotic Wholesome and Urban Bohemian and Mental Lamia as the crew of our ship. And if we hit our stretch goal, we will bring them back for another 4 episodes minimum to do more space horror adventures. That one does have a lot of content warnings. Please pay attention to the content warnings. If you watch, they are important.
All right. I think we have everybody back. Thank you for that, by the way, Matt. How are you two feeling? Are you feeling okay, Natalie and Jonn?
And we got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're good.
So the scene begins when you begin the narrative, Jonn. So take it away when you're ready.
So, which way? You've driven some hours to get out here to meet this alleged magic practitioner witch. You arrive at their home. It's a quaint little, we would probably call a hovel, maybe a hut, maybe even like a thatched pit, this, I don't know what to call it, but what you do know is when you go up to the door that looks like it's barely hanging on and get ready to knock, it swings open and you hear a voice come from inside. I know, come on in.
Right. And which way, very tired looking, very frazzled, has tried to put together an outfit, but after hours and exhausting week, they just awkwardly come through the door. Um, their fingers just fidgeting against each other. It's like, okay, so then you must know I've been told to come to you. Um, Lovely place. Very quaint. Love the smell.
Yeah. And there's smell herbs, there's all manner of different like spices and other earthy root vegetables. There's a few animals that look like they're being prepared for something, and there's jars everywhere, and sitting at a table with many of those jars is a older woman, looks to have poured two cups of tea, and one sitting across from her looks that at a chair that sits empty.
And which way steps over to the chair, kind of pulling it back before taking a swift seat. She's like, I've been trying everything. I've gone to the doctors, I've gone to just random people. I even gone to a vet just because, and I just can't get whatever is going on to fix itself. And it's been driving me up the wall. But someone suggested you, so I really hope you can do it because I gotta live my life and get some projects done. Oh,
That's all very fascinating, but how about we start with a name?
right,
So,
right. Apologies. I am which way? Just call me which way.
and I assume since you got sent out here, you know I'm Pezzle.
Yes. Yes. The one that may be able to what I think could be a curse. I'm assuming it must be based on all the things that have been happening, and I cannot figure out why they are happening.
She sits a large tabby that was on her lap onto the floor, and it's like, you going, yeah, people come here all the time looking for answers, solutions, curses, roots, all some manner of things like that, always thinking that they know what the problem is, but if they actually knew, they wouldn't come to me. So how about you tell me a little bit about what you got going on, and maybe in a little more detail, a little more calm.
Right, right, right. And she like kind of preens her hair, puts down the clothes, and she's like, all right, I seem to stub my toe every morning, and I seem to always smell cooked fish in the kitchen. Not good fish. It's always overly cooked kind of fish. Um, and I swear everything tastes just a little bit of that sour salt. And It's just very many little things. I swear everything's just slightly moved to the left. I thought maybe I could have overdone maybe one of my meals. I don't know. I've been using a lot of leftovers.
So you thinking that you accidentally performed some magic ritual while you were cooking din din?
I mean, I don't exactly fully understand magic. You never know. I've been told there's magic to cooking.
Right. And when did all this start?
A little over a week ago.
Okay. And what were you cooking that day? If you don't mind me asking.
And like her lips disappear as it's just this thin line of a mouth as she's thinking. I think that day when it all started, I think it was pasta, maybe a spaghetti.
Well, I can assure you that mediocre meals aren't going to get you a group, aren't going to get you a curse, aren't going to get the wrath of spirits brought down upon you. So I suspect it's not the pasta. But have you done anything wrong? Done someone wrong? Have you maybe not taken care of something that you were supposed to? I mean, have you been somewhere you shouldn't have been?
I don't think so. I just go do my work, come home. I mean, I think my Italian neighbor might argue because I did break the pasta in half before I put it in the pot, but mm,
And there's nobody at work maybe that might not be happy with something you're doing.
I mean, I know there's people I'm not happy with. It's just having to cover the whole HR department by myself. Things happen. Things happen. It gets a little messy. Sometimes people will come and be like, "Hey, someone cooked fish in the kitchen microwave." And I'm like, "Well, let's not do that. I'll put up a sign. Send a
Well,
reminder email."
let me rescind what I said before. If you're cooking fish in a microwave at work, you deserve everything you get. So I hope that isn't what you're doing, because I think we might have an
No,
answer right now.
no, I know. I don't cook the salmon in the microwave.
Yeah, so I don't. So your last project going well? Didn't no one got left out? Maybe a name didn't get spoken that they contributed to. Uh, Perhaps you got a promotion that somebody else think they might have had. Nothing like that could have happened at work.
I mean, HR has all the drama. When everyone gets promoted, they all get meh. So maybe, but I don't think that happened a week ago or so. When was my
Hmm.
last promotion?
Well, I can tell you part of the problem is you're probably being a little thoughtless, because I assure you, you wronged somebody, and that's how you got yourself into this boat. Perhaps the fact that you're not thinking about the people you wronged is probably why you did whatever you did, and they took matters into their own hands. But that's fine. I can help you with resolve this, what you have on you. But I'm telling you now, what I do, if you don't, start to behave a little more thoughtfully, you're gonna find yourself right back in this boat. So, I mean, I don't like repeating my work, and while I like to have company, I don't want to have you coming down here driving 2 or 3 hours out of your way so that I can fix something that doesn't could not happen if you just put more thought into it.
4
So,
hours. And yes, I would like not to go back 4 hours each way. Also, um, okay. Okay.
so now on to what the more important question: my payment.
Right. Right. Payment? Payment.
Mhm.
That is in the car. Hold
Mhm.
on. And she rushes out through the door, and we hear like a honk of the car. She's like, oh, tick, 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 and we hear it click off. And then she comes back with her bag, plops it down. I had conflicting things on payment, so here, uh, a check or this bundle of herbs. I had conflicting conversations on what you like.
Wait, she takes the check and is just like doesn't break eye contact with you and then rips it in half. Let's
Okay.
see you put well, if you know, and she turns the looks, and there's like you see where several components for a meal have been left out, and you didn't notice it before. And it's just like, it's a good thing you brought those herbs, but you know, that means I'd have to cook with them. Well, since you're here, you drove so long, you might as well stay for a while. So why don't you take them 11 herbs and spices and show me what you can do? How's that sound?
And she takes a long pause, the slow picking up of the herbs and looking at them. I don't know what any of these do. I only ever cooked with salt.
That's fine. Whatever you cook, it'll just affect my work.
Oh, God.
Voting will be opening for Natalie's scene. Remember, you're voting on the player only. While that is going on, why don't we hear from Sin? What did you think of Natalie's performance?
Well, I think the clear curse is for under seasoning her food. That's
100%.
that's obviously the problem.
Immediately saw that.
But it was an understatedly funny scene, and I think that it lends itself to the dynamic involved with the inspiration. So I think it did well with capturing the inspiration of the scene. And from confident to completely in over her head, like the dynamic shift allowed Natalie to play their range a little bit more, and I think that was good to see.
All right, and John, what did you think of the performance Natalie gave you?
Oh, I like the immediately they like burst in like kind of like type A personality, like stating to the person who they're coming to help, explaining to them as if maybe they knew a little bit more, and this then slowly that how she showed like she brought in the cooking and how it wasn't a skill set she possessed, and I thought using that really added like some added humor to the scene where it's like this is probably a very serious issue, but probably not to the person they're talking to. It's like, and I think I really loved how they bounced around between like feeling very self-assured, not like, well, I haven't done anything, so I'm not sure. So like, okay, I think I think maybe there's more going on. Maybe this person's who's talking to me actually knows something. And I kind of love that shift. But like, yeah, just barging in, talking right at the beginning, out the gate was just like it set such a tone that I thought it just really set the entire tone for the scene.
Voting is closed, so I think we're ready for the next grouping, which would be Sin and Jonathan. Are we ready to see what genre you're going to be in?
Yeah,
Let's go to the Dice of Destiny.
Spin, 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 spin,
Spin,
spin.
spin, 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 spin. We'll turn it into a chant. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no!
Somebody landed.
Well, somebody got the Weird West.
Yep. All right, you will be put into the cone of silence. This scene has constant warnings of war and post-war, and it is inspired by Fallout. While that's going on, John, you want to talk to us about what you've been doing with as a mechanics designer?
Yeah. So actually, I haven't been doing a lot of streaming recently because one of the projects I've gotten on is called Nyota Kingdom. It's Afrofuturism, where it's a world that is formed from the African diaspora, and the actual parts of the world itself are formed from the apocalyptic destruction of the previous world. And so you're getting to play, like, embody characters who are doing heroic adventuring in a world where a lot of the issues that we see today don't exist, but it's also bringing to the fore a lot of the folklore, the philosophy, the religion, cultural aspects of these very, like, diverse people. And so I've been fortunate enough to be brought on to do some of the mechanics after having played a campaign of it and, like, fell in love with it. And so what
Nice.
Nay's doing is amazing, and I'm really glad to be part of it. And the team we have a team of neurodivergent, mostly queer creatives, and it has been great. It's been amazing. We're actually working our way towards doing a AP and doing a pitch for hopefully a 8-episode run, I think. So
What is the system like?
well,
Or is that like not to be disclosed yet?
that's one of those things that it's just like it can be. It is a D20 system, except for it's using
Okay.
ranged bands instead of like AC and other, like, target numbers are basically like bands. Like, this is like a legendary, mundane, that sort of thing. And only dice that are used in the system are a D20 and D6s. And so, like, the quality of effect is based on how the band and the result. And so and also all of the spells and magic and skills, they're all narratively designed. And so
Love that.
instead of having spell books and things like that nature, you narratively create the type of thing your character is doing, and then there may be either a bonus or there may be some sort of built-in effect, but everything comes at a little bit of a cost. So even a beginning adventure can do some, like, very impressive things. It's just it'll come at the cost of either mind, body, or soul, which are the 3 stats that the system uses.
I think we got everyone back now. All right, we do. Sin and Jonathan, how you feeling? You feeling ready for your Weird West?
Yeah, I think I got a handle on what I'm going to bring.
Okay.
This is very
All
much
right.
my wheelhouse, so I'm all right.
All right, when you begin the narrative, Sin, the countdown will begin.
The blasted remains of what was once a diner, now a half-collapsed shell of cracked wood and irradiated pie. 2 survivors share the one remaining booth, a tin of something neither of them can identify, and a view of a horizon that is on fire in 3 separate places for 3 separate reasons. They've been traveling together long enough to be sick of each other. They have nobody else. The pie tin is almost empty. This is going to be a conversation about the plan, but one of them has realized there is no plan, and the other one never had a plan to begin with. So, what I've heard about the settlement is that they have fantastic communication. Like, just wondrous ability. They can get a message from the Mojave all the way to the Commonwealth in a matter of 2 years. It's phenomenal. Oh, are you going to eat that?
Docs, I don't even know what that is. Um, uh, and her is he's older. He's probably in his 60s, and he is the embodiment of old man strength. Like, he's wiry, he's small. He was probably 5'8" in his youth, and now he's a solid 5'6". So he is small, but but has come to become very gruff in his time out here. 2 whole years, huh? Lot can change in 2 years. Then the message don't really mean nothing, does it?
I mean, 2 years to get across an entire country. That's like, and they start opening up the tin, slurping it down. They don't even know what it is, but they're hungry. It's fine. All you have to do is send a message like once a day, and then you get all the news all the time that you need from 2 years ago. It's a fantastic system.
So this settlement with this excellent communication you're talking about,
Yeah.
you're saying they got 365 messengers, each one leaving every day for a 2-year journey. And then what? The other ones are coming back. The other settlements, they also have 265 messengers that they can send. And the toothpick, aka the golf tee that her keeps in his mouth, he skewers what once was a moving tentacle in the tin and kind of starts, maybe you should temper your expectations there.
I think that this is incredibly solid. Now, I never said that they were sending messengers. Like that would be wild. No. It takes 2 years to go from signal post to signal post. It's a ham radio system is what they're talking about. And I've got it on good authority. I paid good caps for this information, and I paid good caps on this information at the promise of getting a return on my investment. That is what they call a good business decision.
I could see how you might think that. Docs, if there's any one thing I appreciate about you, it's your endless font of optimism. Now, I feel at this moment we should probably have a conversation about setting our expectations. And one thing I've learned is, um, don't get your hopes too much, and don't go chasing sunk money, sunk costs, if you will. Uh, Sunk costs. What's important is that we set our expectations at a baseline to where maybe, just maybe, we get there and maybe we don't find what we're actually looking for.
So I know what you're talking about. It's the principle of the sunk cost fallacy. And what it means is that it is a fallacy to think of costs as sunk. It's perfectly legitimate.
Her just kind of like does a I that is an interpretation that I have not heard, but I think that, there's not a lot of reasons to get excited. I mean, this settlement, by your account, is well, it does sound real good. There's other things out there. Why, I heard of the most most magical place on earth. And well, I forget its name, and man, I might get in trouble if I actually say it. But the point
I think
is,
it's
there's
Seattle.
Seattle. Maybe that's what it is. I heard they make it's tea that they were famous for, right? The famous the like a fish tea, or did they throw fish? Look, that was a while ago.
The
But
details escape me too.
I'm just saying that maybe aside from the settlement, there might be other things to go out that way. Let me the information that you got. How current was it about that settlement?
It was incredibly current. You could call it an ACDC. It was so current, like a live wire, and so reliable. The person that I got it from had only lost 7 teeth. It was incredibly reliable.
And they hadn't sustained maybe a visible head wound, or they didn't have maybe a one of them parasites coming out their head. I seen those. Those are no good.
I will tell you that they did have a visible head wound, but I do not believe that we should discriminate on the basis of wounded heads.
Oh, and Hurt kind of lifts up his hat, and he's got a wicked scar that you can see from his eye, but he kind of has to lift his hat. Oh, as a member of the Wounded Cranium Club, the Cut Cranium Club, if you might say, the CCC. I get it, but I need you to understand that what we see may not be, once again, what we don't expect. If we go there and maybe there's things are maybe in a more ruinous state than we were expecting. You're
I
gonna be
know
okay?
there might be 2 swimming pools instead of 4. I understand. I have my expectations completely tempered.
Okay. Maybe we bring it down to a swimming pool might be nice. And just people there, good people who have the ability to have mastered communication across the wasteland. Maybe that's what our ceiling should be.
Okay. Let's get in and dig deep here, because there's every possibility that I may have undersold their communications technology.
Okay.
It is, you've heard of them, right? The Brotherhood. They got access to these flying ships. Maybe this settlement was able to commandeer one, and we can just be on our way.
Commandeer the ship from the fellers with the metal suits and the giant weapons. Oh, all right.
Absolutely. It's
Yes,
totally
makes
possible.
makes absolute sense. You are on the money. And her shifts uncomfortably, still having a Brotherhood round in his side that never came out. Look, Doc's I feel like in our travels I've been able to share with you a certain wisdom about the state of things, and I'm really glad you're taking to it. You're tempering more. 4 months ago it would have been 19 swimming pools, but let's just be ready.
Okay.
And that is scene.
I want 20 more minutes of those two.
Voting, by the way, should be up in chat. John, what do you think was in the 10?
Oh man, I love the dynamic. With this, like, especially the confidence, the undeserved, unwarranted confidence, having to deal with that, while keeping it while trying to temper the situation. Like, I don't want you to. It's like you can feel like I don't want you to lose the enthusiasm. I just don't want you to make a single decision. I was like, and he's trying not to express that. It's like I thought that was kind of why I got the feeling from what was happening with the scene, and I kind of love that kind of like I'm personable. So I'm still talking, and I'm not going to say anything to really insult you, but I'm also not insulting you.
Right. Sid, what did you think of Jonathan's performance that you got from him?
It's always difficult to do like a comedy scene, right? And especially one that is the kind of macabre comedy that comes from a Weird West setting. And I think that it was helped along by some shared knowledge that we had about the setting to give us something that was really good. And bringing in some of that knowledge to help like shape the world building was a good decision. And being able to like meet boundless optimism with some kind of like tempered like reality check is a very difficult thing to do.
And I think that we're closed out on that. So we're going to go on to our last scene of the night, which is going to be John and Matt. How you feeling? You feeling ready to get a crazy genre? We've used up a lot of genres already. 5 are gone. This is the last one. So let's go. Let's see what they get.
Oh, it's real close to that line too.
Right.
Yeah, it was. So the Dice of Destiny has picked cyberpunk dystopian for the two of you. Scene is, it has a content warning of implied government control. Let's get them into their cone of silence. Jonathan, you are a trombonist from what I hear.
I am. Well, I'm a trombonist again, I would say. I played in high school, middle school and high school, and then I actually played the tuba for longer than I played the trombone. But recently, I had an opportunity to join a community band here in town, and it seemed like a good opportunity to pick it back up. I've done it for about 3 months now, and my first concert in 30 years is going to be on Thursday. I'm really excited about it.
That's amazing. So what kind of music are you playing?
So one of the pieces is actually composed by a professor at the university, which is really cool. So he will give notes, and he's actually given sort of like patch notes on his music. He'll be like, okay, this is the new version that I'm passing out. And so here's the updated one. We're also playing a piece from an anime called Nausicaa. It's Requiem of a Battle. I'm really looking forward to that one. Wow. We get some great stuff. And we just had our first practice in the concert hall, and that just pops in those acoustics. It's amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I think we've got a Brahms piece and another.
Wow.
That's feels like a beginner band piece, but that's fine for us. We're all amateurs over there. So that
we got our last 2 players back. All right, Matt, how you feeling? You're going to close out the night.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I got this. I guess content warning for my own plan, but this is vaguely real life-ish. So if you are unhappy with the current state of the world, mute me, please.
There's probably a lot of muting going on because we're all unhappy with the state of the world.
Right. Oh wait, let me mute real quick.
Yeah.
Let me mute. Oh, no, wait. I gotta
All right, John, the scene begins when you begin the narrative. So you can take it away when you're ready.
So the camera comes in to buzzing fluorescent lights, several of them flickering as it pans down to reveal a long queue running the length of this office. The fluorescent lights shine down on people who look disgruntled, tired, walls covered with motivational posters that are peeling off the walls, and a cluttered desk with a middle-aged gentleman sitting looking through some papers before saying, "Citizen A2166R4."
Yes. Yeah. Hello. Jerry Fitzpatrick reporting in for check-in, my required screening.
Hello, I'm Martin, your Ministry of Compliance officer representative. I am so glad you could be here today, and I hope that we can make sure that this process is fast and pleasant, and that we can get you where you need to be. I would offer you a seat, but unfortunately, according to regulations, offering seats to citizens during these exchanges has been found to be inefficient, and therefore it has been mandatory. All chairs have been mandatorily removed. But given that, how can I help you?
Yes, I understand. Regulation R39X-2A. It's very important. You know, if we sit down, we're going to take up precious time that the government needs to fulfill their duties. And you see this stifled face as they try desperately to hold in a yawn just before. I'm so sorry. I just have this, and starts rifling through his bag. I have this permit. I'm permitted to travel. I just need to go. I have a family member that really needs my care and would like to see them in case it becomes too late.
Yes. Let me see that.
Yes, of course. Here.
He takes it. He looks over it. Yeah. Excellent. This makes sense. Yeah. And as he's looking it over, you see at another desk nearby someone say something, and you don't quite make out what it is, and they were like, and you hear them say, the representative there say, I'm going to have you go with these two gentlemen. They're going to help reconcile this conflict. You just follow them through that door. Thank you. And then you see these two large men armed for some reason escort this beset upon gentleman through these doors. And Martin looks, and eyes turn back to you and just like, yes, I've had a chance to look at your file. As the only time he looked at the file was when you handed it to him and he looked at it. And I think there are a few discrepancies here that will probably hopefully we'll be able to resolve so that we can get you traveling as soon as possible. However, I see here that there's a few details that are missed. Can you explain line 3A? He hands you the paperback as if you don't know what you wrote on the form and you need it to see.
Yeah, and you see kind of like blurrily wiping at eyes, Jerry has been here a long time. It has been hours. And he's looking at the form and desperately looking around the room, hoping to see a poster of a small cat on a tree limb that just says, hang in there. But instead sees nothing but government propaganda. And it's like, yes, well, so 3A this is my relative's name, Ethel. She requires my care. Do you need her full name?
Oh, Ethel. In order to make use of your in this application, they will have needed to fill out a form 36B dash 79. Did she fill that out?
So I do have form 36B-79. I also have 37A-24, which is the substitution form. Unfortunately, she's not well enough to sign it for herself. So this is her power of attorney form to present signed from her attorney representing that they have permission to sign the 36B-79 form.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to fill out all the paperwork in advance for arriving. Sadly, because of policy Alpha 6946W2-46, the transference form is no longer applicable or able to be used as a reference document for this. It's unfortunate, but because of that, we will need to have her fill out the original form.
I see.
Really wish I could help.
Well, it does help. It is her signature. It's just accompanied by the power of attorney's signature. That doesn't invalidate her signature on the 36B-79, does it?
No, but because you filled out this form and submitted it.
What form?
The transference form, because you filled it out and handed it directly to me.
No. I'm sorry. Can I just look at that quick?
I wish I could, but now that I've received it, its policy is that once a form that's submitted that's no longer that's deprecated, that I must, and he like drops it into like something that flares up in the fire, and it looks like poof.
I see. If you don't mind, if I could just give you, and goes into his bag and pulls out a second packet with a form substitution form 979-4B. I do have a replacement packet. I also have, and pulls around form 2A974 color substitution. I know that the color of the passports and everything were changed this year, but I really did take every step to be prepared so that I could go care for them.
I really enjoy when citizens like you, A2166R4, come in with all the proper documentation. It is not only does it make your day better, it makes my day better. And I hope that because you filled out these documents properly, that this will expedite the entire process. May I see them?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, I couldn't think but to prepare in triplicate because I don't want to do anything that would be in disservice to the state.
And don't we all? We do serve the state. Yes. I think we have an unfortunate issue here. This document was actually I hate that to say this, but just this morning, this document, the process for this changed, and you cannot submit it here. There's actually another department. It's outside of the ministry compliance office for which you need to submit this document at least 1 week in advance prior to this meeting. Unfortunately, since you've handed it to me and now I'm aware of it, I know that you did not submit this a week ago. Sadly, if you had have stated that you submitted that a week ago, I would have been able to possibly take your word for it
Oh, did I not say that when I handed? I did prepare this in triplicate. I do promise I took every step possible.
Yes, I understand, but I can tell by the forms, the grain of the paper of this form, that this was not submitted within that window. We did make those changes, as I said, today.
I see. And do you have
I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't say today. It was today. And I can tell from the grain of paper that you submitted that this falls out of compliance.
Oh dear, I would hate to be out of compliance. I've been here for so long.
Oh.
I've in fact been here since yesterday. So I think that my arrival in the building prior to the enactment of the law, does that not grandfather me into accessing the forms that I have here for my travel? I believe that is in the regulations.
Yes, that's a good question. I need to consult with someone. One moment, please. And he gets ready to, he's slowly, like he's giving you time to change your answer as he starts to pan towards, looking towards those two burly gentlemen who returned to their station. And it's like he's waiting for you to say something before he engages with what he needs to do next. You don't know what you need, but he seems that he's definitely looks sad, like sad that this is what this is coming to.
I think Jerry has hit a point of tiredness that he hopes this worker is sad to be wrong and not sad to have to turn him in.
Yes.
And we will not know the end of this. We've reached the scene end. We're going to open the voting now. So voting is up for Matt. Remember, you're voting for the player only. While that's going on, Sin, what did you think of Matt's performance?
Oh man, the visceral nature of having all of the numbers and just rattling them off over and over again until your eyes glaze over did an excellent job of capturing the futility of the scene. Really, I think there's not enough use of the literal term Kafkaesque, which, deals with the endless bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And like that menacing threat in the background and not being awake enough to even know you're in danger. Like it makes me feel for the character a lot and gets me emotionally invested in what's happening, even though it is strings of numbers. So that's fantastic.
And John, what did you think of the performance you got from Matt?
Oh, I love I have all these documents, so many documents, and I'm going to win. I believe I can win. And between the exasperation that was obvious from how you depicted the character and that sense of when you switched over to all the documents you had them waiting and hiding, poof, I have more documents. It was just but
you activated my trap card.
It was yeah, just a satisfaction in a moment right before that satisfaction went off the cliff because you can't win.
Okay. All right, we have hit the end of that. I think voting is closed on the last one. So stars and wishes are done. We need a drum roll.
Yay!
Woo!
Speech done.
Oh, it's been a hard job.
Not you. Not your response.
Nice. Well done, Synthetic.
Fair enough.
All right. Thank you, the audience, the players, the GMs, producer Nicola. Thank you, of course, every time. Natalie, of course, although you're in the hot seats night, Most importantly, thank you all for supporting Diversity Saves. We appreciate the backing of our sponsors, Monte Cook Games, Only Crits Dice, Gods of Gaming, Underground Oracle, Alligator Alley Entertainment, and Cypher Unlimited. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, keep role-playing with new friends drawn from the paper bag that is your life. Now let's raid. Make sure I copy the right name, but we're going to go to Paracosm Entertainment.